Hey guys, this is Wyatt Johnson with Homestead Properties, and this is another video in the series on foreclosures in Montana. Now, I'm not an attorney, and this is not legal advice, but it's what I've seen from buying houses out of foreclosure for quite a few years. Now, today we're going to talk about what to do when the bank locks you out of your house. So this is something that you'll see when a property goes into foreclosure and it's vacant at the time, usually. The bank locks the doors and everything on the house, puts new locks on it a lot of times, so that they can keep people out of it and keep it safe. And it says that they can do that in most mortgage documents, which I talk about in another video. But basically, they want to keep squatters out of there because squatters love vacant houses, and they'll move in, they'll rip the wire out of the walls, they'll spray paint everything, they'll do drugs and God knows what else. And then the bank's house is worth less, or the house is worth less when the bank takes it back. And so that's why they do it. Now, a common misconception when people get locked out of their house is that they don't own it anymore and they can't do anything with it. And that's not the case. So I talk about in another video how you can find out if you still own the house. But usually, as long as it still hasn't gone to sale, like the auction date hasn't passed yet, it's still your house. And since it's your house, the bank can't prosecute you for trespassing or anything of that nature because they don't own it. So you're not doing anything to them. It's your own property. And I found this out from talking to a police officer here in Billings. So definitely not guaranteed, but that's my understanding of it. And I've known people that have gotten back into their houses after they've been foreclosed on and locked out and never had any problems, lived there for years afterward. And just like you can still live in it or you can still rent it, even if the bank's already put locks on it, you can still sell it also. There was a house that I found that had been vacant for 2 years. The owner had moved out as soon as they saw the first notice of sale on the property for the foreclosure. It took the bank forever to get everything done. Well, I ended up finding this gal 2 years later. Actually, I found her grandson, and he talked to her and let him know that, hey, like, you still have control over this property. You can sell it. And the market had actually appreciated quite a bit. So even though the house was beat up from being empty for 2 years, they were still able to sell it and make some money on it. But they had originally thought they couldn't because the bank had taken it back over and the bank had changed the locks and all those kind of things. Now, one thing that is going to happen if you have a house that's vacant and the bank changes the locks, usually they're going to go through and winterize it. They're going to get rid of all the water in the plumbing, shut everything off, label it, say don't use it, this kind of thing, so that if it freezes up, it's not going to flood the house and make things worse. And they're going to charge for that stuff too. They'll have guys mowing the lawn. They'll charge for that. They'll have guys that just drive by to look at the house and they'll charge for that. And so this is all stuff that gets added on to the fees you pay when you try to make your foreclosure current again, or when you try to make your payments current again. And so that stuff can really rack up. So the faster that you can get that taken care of, the less money you're going to have to pay in the long run. And if you do leave it vacant and they have to go winterize it and stuff like that, it's going to cost you some more money because of it. But that's kind of a quick rundown on the situation when the bank changes the locks on your house.